Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Abdullah Patel English High School and DRT Junior College. Today we are going to start by our subject history, chapter number 6. As we have already started by chapter number 6, today we are going to start by part 2 of our chapter, that is Indian struggle against colonialism. I hope the earlier video was understandable to everyone. Now, starting by the further topic, that is 6.5, moderates and extremists. As I've already said you that earlier there was no political party. Okay, so the first political party was made in the year 1885, which was called as Indian National Congress. Only Congress was the first party that was established. So after Congress, there was a split in Congress, and that split has created the birth of many political parties. So how the split has been done? Okay, so the people who have started the Congress party, those people have been split. Okay, and those people were split into two and were called they were termed as moderates and extremists. So in this topic we are going to deal with moderates and extremists. Who are moderates and who are extremists? Now, at the same time, there was a debate emerged in the, especially in the Maharashtra region, arguing about the priority of the means the importance of the political reform over the social reform, means which is the important one, where we should give the importance, political or on social reform. So the extremists, the people, the person who were in the extremist wing of thinkers insisted that independence should be the natural priority. An independent nation could provide a right step up for social reformation. On the other hand, the moderators were having of the view that social reformation of the independence was incomplete. They did not mind appealing the British government to help in the task of social reform. So, Gopal Ganesh Agarkar was at the helm of those who insisted on the priority of social reforms. He used to say that we need to first reform ourselves. On the contrary, Lokmanya Tilak, who was the leader of the extremists, used to say that the home taken over by the others should be recovered first, then only we can reform it. Okay, so there were the different views between moderators and extremists. Means one was having that we should fight for our right, and others were having the views that no, we don't have to fight, we have to snatch our right. We don't need to appeal, we don't need to fight, directly we will snatch because it is our right. This were the differences between the views of extremists and the moderators. Okay, Firoz Shah Mehta, Gopal Krishna Gokhale were the leaders of the moderators. They felt that if they could convince the government about their grievances would necessarily prove the government will not disappoint them. Lokmanya Tilak, on the contrary, felt that the British government will not yield to application, request and speeches. Now, people from the moderate, that is Firoz Shah Mehta, Gopal Krishna Gokhale, they were thinking that if they will appeal, if they keep their demand in front of the government, so their grievances will be accepted when they will prove the necessary proofs in the front of the government. But Lokmanya Tilak, he never feel like that. He felt that British government will never yield to application, requests and speeches. The differences between moderates and extremists led to a climax in the session of Indian National Congress held at Surat in 1907, and this was the year that there was a split in Indian National Congress. The moderate wanted to avoid the resolution of Swadeshi and boycott. The extremists wanted to stop these attempts of the moderate. This increased the tension during the session. Reconciliation became impossible. Ultimately, the Indian National Congress split into two groups. Okay, I hope this is clear to you people how the split has been happened. To control the program of Indian National Congress, Lord Curzon planned the partition of Bengal. Now, at the same year, in 1905, there was a problem in Bengal. Okay, so there was partition of Bengal. After the partition of Bengal, the British government began to take strict action against the leader of the extremists. Now, who were the leaders in extremists? Lokmanya Tilak. It is famously called as Lal, Bal and Pal. Lal means Lala Lajpat Rai. Pal means Bipin Chandra Pal, and Bal means Lokmanya Tilak. Now you will say, where is Bal? So Lokmanya Tilak's full name is Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Okay, Lokmanya is just a title given to him. So Lokmanya Tilak is Bal, Pal is Vipindra Chandra Pal, and Lal is Lala Lajpat Rai. So here what happened, Lokmanya Tilak was sent to Mandalay prison for 6 years under the charge of treason. Bipin Chandra Pal was imprisoned and Lala Lajpat Rai was deported as they were against the Britishers. So this was the reason that they were humiliated by the British government. Lokmanya Tilak returned to India after completing a 6-year term in the prison of Mandalay in 1914. After that, there was a reconciliation between moderates and extremists, and they came together in the Congress session at Lucknow. Now, finally, when it was in the year 1907, there was a split in the Congress. But now, after 6 years, when Lokmanya Tilak returned back, now there is a patch up between the Congress, and now extremists and moderates both came together, and there was a session at Lucknow. Okay. Now the next topic 6.6, armed revolutionaries in India. The Indian movement against the British imperialism took many forms, many faces we have seen. One of the important movement was forced armed revolution. And the main objective of this armed revolution was to weak the government administration, what the government was doing, to dispel the fear of the government in people's mind, and thus to uproot the British rule from India. Ram Singh Kuka had planned a revolt in Punjab against the British government. In Maharashtra, Vasudev Balwant Fatke was one to do the same. Commissioner Rand's methods of treating people during the plague epidemic in Pune were atrocious. Enraged by it, Damodar and Balkrishna Chapekar, the two brothers, killed Rand. In 1899, with the initiative of Ganesh Damodar Savarkar and his brother Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, Meerut Mela, a secret organization was established at Nasik. The same organization was renamed in the year 1904 as Abhinav Bharat. The same year, Vinayak Damodar Savarkar went to England for higher education. From there, he began to send revolutionary literature, pistols, etc. to members of Abhinav Bharat. He wrote a biography of Joseph Mazzini, an Italian revolutionary. He also wrote the book 1857, The First War of Independence. The British government came to know about the activities of Abhinav Bharat. Ganesh Damodar Savarkar was arrested by the British government. Jackson, the British collector, punished him with the life sentence. Anand Lakshman Kanhare, a young Indian revolutionary, killed Jackson to avenge the punishment given to the Ganesh Damodar Savarkar. The government held Vinayak Damodar Savarkar for Jackson's murder. He was arrested and had to face a trial in the court. He was declared guilty and sentenced to rigorous imprisonment for 50 years at Andaman. Means many people were there who really want to have freedom from the Britishers. They have given their life, they have risked their life for fighting for the freedom of our country. Okay, they have not seen that what will happen, what will be the future of our country, what will the future of our family, but they just fought. What was the reason? That we have to free our country from the British rule. A revolutionary organization named as Anushilan Samiti was active in Bengal. Aurobindo Ghosh and his brother Barindra Kumar Ghosh were at the head of this organization. The organization had a center of bomb making at Maniktala near Kolkata. In 1808, Khudiram Bose and Prafulla Chaki of Anushilan Samiti made a plan of Kingsford assassination, who was an evil British magistrate. However, the horse cart which was bombed by them did not carry Kingsford but two British women instead. They both died. Praful Chaki shot himself and Khudiram Bose was arrested and hanged. Now see, in other parts of the country was also there was a plan making by the people that we will kill the Britishers in some or the other way, who are very crucial, who are very evil, or who are doing atrocity on the people. So there was a plan made by Khudiram Bose and Praful Chaki that we will kill Kingsford. But what happened? They have set the bomb in his cart. But instead of sitting of this Kingsford, there was two other women sitting over there. And when there was a blast, so this woman died. So what Praful Chaki do? He shot himself, as he knew that if I will be caught, so what they will do? They will hang me, right? So he himself shot him. And Khudiram Bose, he was arrested and finally he was hanged by the British government. Now next, Shyamji Krishna Verma had founded India House in London. This organization used to give scholarship to Indian students in England taking higher education. Madam Kama belonged to the group formed by Shyamji Krishna Verma. She was a socialist and a revolutionary in the World Socialist Socialist Conference in Germany. She raised the issue of India's independence. She unfurled a flag representing India. Madanlal Dhingra shot Curzon while to death and was arrested and hanged for it. For this reason, he was hanged. What the things the Madam Kama and Madanlal Dhingra has done, as they have stated their India's independence issue in front of the World Socialist Conference in Germany. Okay, so this was the reason that he shot Curzon while to death, and finally he was arrested and hanged for the shooting Curzon while. Indian in America and Canada had established a revolutionary organization which was named as Gadar. Lala Hardayal Bhai Paramanand, Dr. Pandurang Sadashiv Kankoji were among the main leaders of this organization. Which organization? Gadar organization. Okay, Gadar means uprising. Gadar was the name of the newspaper as well at that time. Published by the organization, this newspaper gave the message of patriotism and revolution to the Indians. Hutatma Vishnu Ganesh Pingle contributed in a great way of this work. Means not only in India but in America also, in Canada also, in America, Canada also, people were fighting for the rights of Indians. Okay. Ram Prasad Bismil, Ashfaqullah Roshan Singh, Rajendra Lahiri of Hindustan Republic Association had masterminded a plan for raising money for revolutionary work, which came to be known as Kakori conspiracy. They sacked a train which was carrying the government treasury when it had stopped at Kakori station in Uttar Pradesh. The government was prompt in action. All of them were captured immediately and hanged. Now there was also a plan of the people that we will loot the British, as British has looted our country, so we will loot the treasury of Britishers. Okay, but finally this plan was not successful. The people who has looted the train which was in Uttar Pradesh had finally government captured them and they got the punishment of death sentence. This was the time when some young people in India established the Communist Party, following the revolutionary thoughts of Karl Marx. Their aim was to uproot the colonial British rule and establish the rule of working class people, that is, proletariat. Members of the Communist Party were tried, tired under the charge of uh, were tried under the charge of attempting armed revolution. The Meerut case of and Kanpur case in this context received a lot of publicity. Here see the name of the people has been given. Amrut Dange, Muzaffar Ahmad, Keshav Nilkant Jogalekar were among the accused in this cases. These people were the accused, okay, of Meerut case. The young revolutionary Chandrasekhar Azad, Bhagat Singh, Rajguru and Sukhdev had a secular way of thinking. In the year 1928, they established Hindustan Socialist Republican Association in Delhi. Their goal was to free India from the British exploitation. What exploitation was the British were doing in terms of economic, social, religious and political. They wanted to rip off the British system that exploited the farmers and laborers also. The organization had an independent department called Hindustan Socialist Republican Army for collecting arms and to execute their plan. Chandrasekhar Azad was the chief of that department. The members of this organization had completed several adventurous tasks. Bhagat Singh and Rajguru avenged the death of Lala Lajpat Rai. Saunders was killed to teach a lesson British officer. The British government had submitted two bills in the Central Legislative Assembly which were absolutely damaging to civil rights. Bhagat Singh and Batukeshwar Dutt exploded a bomb in the Legislative Assembly and surrendered to the police. Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, Sukhdev were hanged at Lahore in 1931 under the charge of treason. Chandrasekhar Azad became a martyr fighting in the British forces in the Alfred Park in Allahabad. Okay, so I hope the picture is visible to you people. These are the martyrs of our freedom struggle. They have forced the Britishers to go back. They have tried each and everything that India should be free for the freedom movement, and finally they have lost their life only for the freedom of our country. Okay, Surya Sen was the leader of the revolutionary group working with Hindustan Socialist Republican Army in Chittagong in Bengal. He prepared a plan to attack on the British armories. They carried out the plan while they were nearing success. Unfortunately, Surya Sen and some of his colleagues were captured by the police. Surya Sen and his colleagues sacrificed their life for the cause of nation. Kalpana Dutt, one of this group, got life sentence. Okay, so each and everyone, whoever was the person who were have a love towards the country, they have to lose their life. Preeti Lata Vadekar escaped the police but sacrificed her own life. Shanti Ghosh and Suniti Chaudhary, the two school-going girls, shot Charles Buckland, the British magistrate. They were caught and sentenced to imprisonment for life. Beena Das, a member of Indian National Congress, attempted to kill Stanley Jackson, the governor of Bengal, by shooting at him during the convocation ceremony of the University of Calcutta. She was caught and sentenced to 9 years rigorous imprisonment. Means whoever who tried to for the freedom, each and everyone has to lose their life. Okay, but they were ready, they were happy to lose their life because other people, other upcoming generation would be free from the rule of Britishers. The revolutionary had contributed significantly to the independence movement in India. They were courage and determination personified. Their loyalty to the nation and readiness to sacrifice their lives are unmatched. Their sacrifices had been a source of inspiration to all. Means like this leader, we are, I don't think so that we are going to meet again, that they have love towards the country. Okay, they are having respect towards our country, that our country should not be ruled by Britishers. Starting by the next topic, that is Mahatma Gandhi non-violent resistance movement. The mantle of Lokmanya Tilak after his death in 1920 was passed on Mahatma Gandhi. Means whatever the work was there, it was shifted to Mahatma Gandhi. He became the leader of India's independence movement. Under his leadership, the independence movement expanded considerably. Gandhiji's work began in South Africa. The British regime in South Africa had reduced the natives and the Indians there to be a very insignificant status. Several discriminatory laws and regulations were imposed on them. Gandhiji stood up against those laws and regulations. He was successful in it with non-violent means. In 1915, Gandhiji returned to India. Now, not only Gandhiji has established his rule in India, he has also made other, means in South Africa also the crucial British rules was there. Okay, so over there also he has fought for the laws. He has discriminatory laws and regulations were imposed on them, on the people over there. So Gandhiji stood up over there also again those laws and regulation. Okay, and finally in the year 1915 he returned back to India, and in 1920 he take the position after Lokmanya Tilak. In 1917, he took up the issue of the farmers in Champaran in Bihar. The British plant owners, they were pressing local farmers to cultivate only indigo. Not only that, they used to buy indigo from them at a very low rates. Gandhiji decided to protest against this exploitation of the farmers and to relieve the farmers from their misery by doing satyagraha. Gandhiji was unsuccessful in his efforts and the British government banned compulsion of cultivating indigo. The farmers were relieved from the harassment of the British plant owner. Okay, now whatever the act Gandhiji was doing, it was in a non-violent way. Gandhiji never liked violent means. Okay, so sometime it happened that whatever step he has taken, so it was never success, but so, to an extent it was a success, it never a failure. Somehow they had got an experience against the act. The British government formed a committee to suppress the national movement that was spreading rapidly. Sir Sidney Rowlatt, the British officer, was the president of the committee. An act was passed in 1919, by this committee, which came to be known as the Rowlatt Act. This act authorized the British government to imprison any Indian without warrant and to put under trial without inquiry. Mahatma Gandhi decided to protest against this act through Satyagraha. He appealed on 6th April 1990 to all people to go for a mass protest, that is hartal, by closing down all daily transactions. Now the second problem in front of Gandhiji after Champaran Satyagraha, after the problems of peasants, that is the farmers, the next problem was of Rowlatt Act, that the officer can arrest the Indian people, okay, with if they are having no passes. So that was a problem. So Gandhiji called for a hartal. There were mass protests in Punjab in on 13 April 1919 was the day of Baisakhi festival. Thousands of people had gathered for the meeting held at Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar for celebrating the festival. Many of them were not aware of the ban put by the government on the public gathering. Now, people were not aware that government has ban of gathering of the people. Okay, so what happened over there? There was General Dyer. He opened a fire on the people without any warning, without giving any warning. He just opened fire in on the people, on the public, about 400 innocent people, as they have not done any crime. They were innocent people. They were killed and thousands of them were injured in this incident. It was known as Jallianwala Bagh massacre. It created a wave of rage all through India. Rabindranath Tagore criticized this act in very severe terms and gave up his title, sir, after this act. After General Dyer Act of Jallianwala Bagh massacre, what happened? Rabindranath Tagore, he was very hurt by this incident, and finally he thought that I am going to give up my title of sir, as I being an Indian, I have also not helped to this people. What of being a title of having sir by my name? So I am giving up my title, sir. This was the third problem. See, the poem has been given on Jallianwala Bagh massacre. The Marathi poet has celebrated by certain words. Just read it out. Next, in 1920, in the session of Indian National Congress held at Nagpur, a resolution was passed to start the non-cooperation movement all over India. So finally, in the year 1920, Gandhiji has given a new movement to Indian people of non-cooperation, non-cooperating to the Britishers. Okay. Now, what the people has done over here? Mahatma Gandhi was asked to lead the movement. It was decided to boycott all school, colleges, legislative bodies, courts, government offices, and imported goods. Indian people responded to the non-cooperation movement and boycott in a commendable way. Students participated in on a large scale. Several highly acknowledged Indian lawyers stopped their practice and participated in the movement. Among them were Chitranjan Das, Motilal Nehru, M.R. Jayakar, Saifuddin Kichwalu, Vallabhbhai Patel, and Rajgopalachari. At many places, imported clothes were publicly burned. The farmers gave tremendous response to Mahatma Gandhi's appeal of non-cooperation. The working class also participated in the movement on very large scale. A nationwide series of public strikes was started. There were 396 instances of public strike during the year 1921 alone. The leaders of Indian National Congress had organized this strike at several places. Charkha, the Indian spinning wheel, became the symbol of Swarajya, and Swadeshi become a household term in India. Means we are totally boycotting each and everything which is foreign, which is from foreign countries. Okay, we are not going to use the goods related to Britishers. We are going completely Swadeshi, means using the products made in India. We are not going to wear the foreign clothes. We are not using any goods, any food items of the Britishers. We are just taking Swadeshi, and the charkha was the Indian spinning wheel, become the symbol of our Swarajya. Swarajya means self-rule. Next, the British government had levied heavy tax on salt. This is the next problem in front of Mahatma Gandhi. An essential commodity. Salt is an essential commodity found in each and every kitchen, right? So now the next problem in front of the Indian people was of salt tax. So Mahatma Gandhi came to know, hence he declared Satyagraha to protest against this tax. On the day of 12th March 1930, he began a march from his Sabarmati ashram to Dandi on Gujarat sea coast against this unjust tax system. And on 16th April on the sea coast at Dandi, he broke the British law of salt with the token act of collecting a handful of salt from there. Means while he was starting by his ashram, each and every person, he was alone when he started the movement, when he started the march. But he never called up any of the people that you come with me, you come with me, I want to break the law. He just moved alone. Okay, but when the people saw the enthusiasm of Mahatma Gandhi, each and every people who was seeing Mahatma Gandhi, he joined from wherever, not from the starting point, from the mid, but he started. Okay, so this march was started from Sabarmati ashram to Dandi. So it was a journey of 2 to 3 4 days. Okay, as it has started from March 12th March, it has ended on 6th April. So just imagine how many days are there. So in these days, whoever the people were there, they were joining to the Gandhiji, and each and everyone has given a helping hand to Gandhiji by breaking up the salt tax. Now, next topic is Azad Hind Sena. In the year 1939, Hitler pushed Europe in World War II. The British government, without the consent of its Indian subject, decided to involve India as one of the participant country in the war. Now see, uh, I hope you have listened about World War II. Okay, now here we Indian were not having any idea of what is happening in other country, what Hitler was doing. As Hitler in the year 1939 has pushed European countries in World War II, so Britishers, what they thought, that without taking in the permission of the Indians, we will involve India as one of the major country who has participation in the war. Now what happened? Mahatma Gandhi and the Indian National Congress were against this decision of the British government, that we don't want to war. What is our profit of doing war? We are not enemies, so why should we war? So this decision that we are going to participate were neglected by Gandhiji and the peoples from Indian National Congress. In this war, Japan decided to fight as Germany allied nation. Japan conquered the regions under British rule in Southeast Asia. Many Indian soldiers in the British army were taken captive by the Japanese army. Rasbihari Bose built Azad Hind Sena by recruiting these Indian soldiers, and later it was recognized under the leadership of Subhash Chandra Bose. Now what happened? As they have not taken permission, so Japan, he was against fighting against. Okay, so our Indian soldiers who were sent to fight the war, so Japan has captured our soldiers. So here in India, Subhash Chandra Bose, he had started his um, Ras Bihari Bose, he has started his Sena, that is Azad Hind Sena. He recruited these Indian soldiers, and later it was recognized under the leadership of Subhash Chandra Bose. And in the year 1943, Subhash Chandra Bose established Azad Hind Sarkar in Singapore. Okay, I hope you are getting it. Japan has captured our Indian soldiers. So for that reason, this Azad Hind Sena was established by Rasbihari Bose, but later on it was started, whole of the Sena was under the control of Subhash Chandra Bose, and he started Azad Hind Sarkar, this same Azad Hind Sarkar, in where? In Singapore. At the end of 1943, he had already conquered Andaman and Nicobar. तुम मुझे खून दो मैं तुम्हें आज़ादी दूंगा. This was the title, the dialogue, the slogan of Azad Hind Sena by Subhash Chandra Bose. In English, it has been translated as "Give me your blood, I shall give you independence." The speech by him turned into a key slogan among Indians. In 1944, he had conquered the Arakan province and the British outposts on the east borders of Assam. The soldiers of Azad Hind Sena kept fighting in very adverse condition, whatever the condition may be, but they kept fighting. They have not stopped fighting. Okay, they could not reach and captured Imphal. Imphal, it is in Nepal. Okay, but they kept on fighting. Now, finally, Our last topic, that is 6.9, that is Quit India movement of 1942. Quit India means Bharat Chhod Do. The Executive Council of the Indian National Congress passed a resolution of Wada, that is, the British should quit India. Now there was a resolution passed at Wada that British should leave our country. Okay, so this resolution was received final approval in the session at Mumbai. On 7th August 1942, the session of Indian National Congress began on the Gwalior Tank ground in Mumbai. Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad was the president of this session. I hope the picture is visible to you people. So, as the president of this session, he was having the major responsibility of India. So, on August on 8th August in the session, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru presented the resolution presented a resolution of Quit India, and it was approved with great majority. It was demanded that the British should immediately leave India. In this session, it was also decided that the Quit India movement should be taken forward with a non-violent approach under Mahatma Gandhi's leadership. As Mahatma Gandhi, he loved non-violence. He never asked for violence. Whatever the fight will be, it will be in a way of non-violent only. Okay, so here also Quit India we will do in non-violence manner only. Mahatma Gandhi appealed to all Indians, saying this movement is not of the Indian National Congress but of all Indians. Means freedom is not only for Indian National Congress, the freedom belongs to all of the Indian peoples, right? So every Indian man and woman should know in their mind that they are free citizens from this very movement, and they should prepare themselves to fight. Means each and every person belonging to this country have to fight with Britishers. While emphasizing that this was going to be a very rigorous fight, Mahatma Gandhi said, "Today I am going to give you the mantra, do or die." At that day, he has given a mantra to the people, do or die. In Hindi, we say, Karo ya maro. This should be the oath to which we commit ourselves. Prepare to sacrifice yourself for this oath. This was the oath given by Mahatma Gandhi to the common people. Gandhiji's words created a new spirit among the Indian people. The British government tried to crush the Quit India movement before it started. Before the day of 9th August could see the sunlight, all prominent leaders like Gandhiji, Maulana Azad, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Vallabhbhai Patel were arrested. The government put a ban on public gatherings, speeches, rallies and protestations. It sealed all the offices of Indian National Congress in the country. The resistance put up by all age and young in the village like Chimor, Asti, Yawali, Mahar, Gargoti, etc. with steadfastness and courage with will indeed be remembered forever. By the end of 1942, this movement, supported by common people, took a different turn as Gandhiji has encouraged the people. So it was too fruitful as all the important leaders were arrested. So finally, this movement came under the hands of common people. Okay, so this has major turn. Twist was happened in the history of India. Okay, that this was a different turn. Its leadership was assumed by the young socialist leader. His name is Jay Prakash Narayan, Dr. Ram Manohar Lohiya, Achyut Patwardhan, Aruna Asif Ali, S.M. Joshi, N.G. Gore were of the forefront among them. These were the new leaders came up when Gandhiji was arrested with other leaders. Okay, in order to mislead the British in 1942 movement, some of the leaders had assumed. Okay, see here the name has been given to us. All the titles were given out to the Britishers that we are not going to use these titles. Doctors, Didi, Shushila, Kadam, Imam Ali, all this we are not going to have. Several revolutionary groups were established in the country at local levels. The group like Azad Dasta, established by Bhai Kotwal in Karjat Taluka, Lal Sena in Nagpur, established by General Awari, left no alternative for the British government but to pray God. In Mumbai, Vitthal Javeri, Usha Mehta and their colleagues started a transmission center named Azad Radio. Okay, so each and everyone whoever can help has help in each and every means. So in the year 1942, in some parts of India, people were successful in uprooting the British governance. In Midnapur district, that is Bengal, Balia, that is UP, and Bagalpur, Purnia, that is Bihar, near Azamgarh, the British officers were forced to leave their offices. People took charge of the governance at these places, as the Britishers saw that now all the common people had got united. Now there is no important leader, but then two people are fighting. So now we cannot stay over here. So they were forced to leave their offices. Kranti Sinha, Nana Patil, a revolutionist, established Pratri Sarkar, that is parallel government in the Satara district of Maharashtra. He, with the help of his associate, put an end to the British regime in Satara district and established people's government over there. This government took over the administrative tasks like collecting revenue, maintaining law and order, solving the court cases, punishing criminals. Means now finally it is a simple court which is based on Indian rules and regulations. In this period, the foundation of the British rule in India became weak as people the Britishers were leaving their offices. So what happened, the strong foundation was laid by the Britishers is becoming weak day by day. The Quit India movement was an expression of the strong opposition of the Indian people to the British rule. The British administrator became aware that it will be difficult for them to rule the Indian any longer, and the end of the British Empire was evident to them. The rebellion of the sailors of the British Indian Navy 1946 added to the unrest against the Britishers. Means now they have learned a lesson that now nothing cannot be happened. We cannot have a hold on Indian people as all the common people have been united. Thus, when the possibility of India becoming a free nation had become evident, Muhammad Ali Jinnah and his party, the Muslim League, began to insist on a separate nation for the Muslim. There were many communal riots in many parts of the country, means not only by the Britishers, means there was religious riots also. As Muhammad Ali Jinnah has started that we want free nation, we also want to separate, we want separate nation for Muslim. This was also the problem created by some people. Okay, so finally it was resulted in the partition of the country. In the month of August 1947, India and Pakistan became two separate nations which came into existence in the map of our world. History tells us that it was India, the nation that created an example for the world for fighting successfully against the colonial rule. Means only this is the country, the only country which has fought against colonial rule. It gave inspiration to many countries who were suffering under the shackles of colonial rule. The Constitution of Independent India came into implementation on 26 January 1950. Who has given? Yes, Baba Saheb Ambedkar's vision was a major force in shaping the Constitution of India. The fundamental values on which the struggle of India's freedom was founded included liberty, equality, fraternity and justice. This was the important values, the diamonds of our Constitution. These values have built the foundation of Indian Constitution. Okay. So here we have completed by our session. Now let's start by our quick revision. We have started by moderates and extremists, right? In this we have seen a debate emerge between the moderates and the extremists arguing about the priority of political reform or priority of social reforms. Ultimately, the Indian National Congress split into two groups. In the session of Indian National Congress held at Surat in the year 1907, Lord Curzon planned the partition of Bengal. There was reconciliation between moderates in the Congress session at Lucknow. Next, we have seen armed revolutionary in India. One of the movement against the British was of armed revolution. The main objective of the armed revolutionary was to weaken government administration, to dispel the fear of the government in people's mind, and thus to uproot the British rule from India. Ram Singh Kuka, Vasudev Balwan Patke, Damodar and Balkrishna Chapekar, Chandrasekhar Azad, Bhagat Singh and Rajguru were some revolutionaries. Mitra Mela, Anushilan Samiti, India House, Gadar, Hindustan Republic Association were some important revolutionary organization which was started in India at that time. Pritilata Vadedar, Shanti Ghosh, Suniti Chaudhary, Beena Das were also revolutionary women of that time. Next we have started by Mahatma Gandhi non-violent resistance movement. Here we have seen the important points. The mantle of Lokmanya Tilak after his death in 1920 was passed on to Gandhiji. He became the leader of India's independence movement. Under his leadership, the independence movement expanded considerably. Gandhiji's work began in South Africa first. In the year 1915, Gandhiji returned back to India, and in the year 1917, he took up the issue of the farmers in Champaran in Bihar. On 6th April 1919, he gave appeal to go for a mass protest, that is Hartal, against Rowlatt Act. Jallianwala Bagh massacre forced Rabindranath Tagore to give up his title of Sir. In 1920, in the session of Indian National Congress held at Nagpur, a resolution was passed to start the non-cooperation movement all over India. Next, Mahatma Gandhi was asked to lead the movement Swaraj and Swadeshi. These were the two which became a household term in India. On 12 March 1930, he began a march from his Sabarmati ashram to Dandi on Gujarat sea coast, and on 6th April on the sea coast at Dandi, he broke the British law of salt. Next topic what we have seen, Azad Hind Sena led by Subhash Chandra Bose. In the year 1939, Hitler pushed Europe in World War II. The British government, without the consent of Indian subjects, decided to involve India. Mahatma Gandhi and the Indian National Congress were against this decision. In this war, Japan decided to fight as Germany's allied nation. Japan conquered the region under British rule in Southeast Asia. Many Indian soldiers in the British army were taken captive by the Japanese army. Rasbihari Bose built Azad Hind Sena by recruiting these Indian soldiers, and later it was reorganized under the leadership of Subhash Chandra Bose. In 1943, Subhash Chandra Bose established Azad Hind Sarkar in Singapore, but it failed. Then the last topic which we have studied is Quit India movement of 1942. Now the important points of Quit India movement is the Executive Council of the Indian National Congress passed a resolution at Wardha that the British should quit India. On 7th August 1942, the session of Indian National Congress began on the Gavalia Tank ground in Mumbai. Maulana Abul Kalam Azad was the president of this session. On 8th August in this session, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru presented the resolution of Quit India, and it was approved with great majority. It was demanded that the British should immediately leave India. It was also decided that the Quit India movement should be taken forward with a non-violent approach under Mahatma Gandhi's leadership, that is, non-violence. The British government tried to crush the Quit India movement before it started. By the end of 1942, this movement, supported by common people, took a different turn. Its leadership was assumed by the young socialist leader. The British realized that it will be difficult for them to rule the Indians any longer. The rebellion of the sailors of the British Indian Navy 1946 added to the unrest. Muhammad Ali Jinnah and the Muslim League wanted to separate nation for Muslims. There were many communal riots in many parts of the country. In August 1947, India and Pakistan, two separate nations, came into existence. And finally, we got the Constitution of India, the Constitution of Independent India, and which was implemented on 26th January 1950. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar's vision shaped the Constitution of India, and hence we have completed by our chapter. So I hope you understand the topic. Okay, we have completed by our 6th chapter explanation. So till my next video, stay at home, stay safe. Thank you.